Hey y'all, it's Mikey. Welcome to the farm.
Waking up at dawn, the rooster crows. Sunrise painting fields and golden lows. With my hands in the soil, I plant the seeds. Life on the farm, fulfilling all our needs. Oh, farm life where the green grass grows. Canyon food and the garden shows. Taking care of animals, big and small. In a simple life, we have it all.
Get you a Duke's mixture today.
All
Okay.
right. So he's already put us, what did you say this was, Mr. David?
Winter peas.
Winter peas.
Winter peas. Now I'm getting you some clover. I'm getting you some turnips. Some purple top turnips. I'm gonna get you some red clover.
Red clover.
Yep.
All right.
They think it's electricity on that record, but
I'm gonna get you some daikon radish
they got one thing in high temp wire all the way around the middle.
for the
Daikon.
deer.
Daikon radish.
Yep. And I'm gonna get you some mustard.
Don't think no electricity.
And some mustard.
Mustard green seeds.
All right. So,
Some Duke's mixture. Plant for the wildlife, and everybody needs to plant one bucket full of this. And they can get that bucket full like that for $89.50 at Wagener Milling Company in Wagener, South Carolina.
that's right.
Come and see me
Yes, sir.
if you want to get plenty of wildlife in your backyard. If you want to kill big bucks only, you come see me.
Y'all can see why I enjoy coming up to Wagener Milling Company, visiting with my old friend, Mr. David here. He is a hoot and a holler and always ready to give you a good deal. Isn't that right, Mr. David?
That's right.
So all that seed that you got us up, that's also good for our pasture for the cows and the goats too, right?
That's right. That'll take, that's for the deers, the goats, the cows, everything. Everybody can eat off of that.
That's right. So we've been working up our pasture really good, and we told y'all, Mr. David, he's hooking us up and getting us set right here and get our pastures good and worked up for all of our livestock
That's a
back
good,
home.
Good livestock thing, good wildlife thing, good for everything.
That's right. So all you deer hunters out there too, y'all need to come see Mr.
You need
David.
to come see me if you want to get you a big buck.
That's right. So I got one more thing for you, real quick, Mr. David. We have a message for you from one of our viewers up in Michigan.
Okay.
So Seabass, this is for you, says hello from Michigan.
And tell Seabass hello from David from Wagener, South Carolina.
So hubby and I just left Mr. David at Wagener Milling Company, came over here to Tyler Brothers. I'm looking around to see if I can find another pair of boots, y'all. They have a great boot selection here.
Wow, y'all, look at this farmer girl walking up. She's got a set of new overalls and a new set of boots.
Just call me Farmer Mike. I told hubby, where did she come from? Where did she go? Where did she come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Oh my goodness. I told him I chose to get some steel toe boots when we were at Tyler Brothers yesterday while I'm out here working in the livestock, and just in case one of them decide to step on my toes and get a little bit of safety going on around here. But steel toe boots ain't good for clogging. They're a little heavy for that, but I might have to do a clogging video for y'all sometime. I just need to get a pair of clogging shoes. It's been a while. Yeah, I told y'all I got me a pair of overalls for the winter months, these are going to be nice to come out here and work. And they're a little bit big, but they don't get any more in for some reason. I guess a lot of women don't do this kind of stuff. I don't know. It seems like stores would carry clothing and accessories and things like this for women that do farm, because even though there's majority men, there are still women that do this, and it'd be nice to have that resource instead of having to go online to shop for these specific items and things like that. But anyway, hubby said that whenever I wash them, they'll shrink a little bit, but I guess it's better for them to be a little bit bigger. It gives me plenty of room to move around and get everything done that I need to get here done. But they're going to be nice to have for the winter. They're good heavy duty.
I like your boots too.
I do too. I really do. They're really, really comfortable. And like I told y'all, I mean, I've never wore steel toe boots before, but I just figured this would be a better choice with what I'm working with. So,
Yeah, but I wouldn't want a 800 to 1,000 pound cow stepping on my toe.
no, that would hurt.
Yeah, much.
That would hurt. But anyway, yeah, I got my beanie hat on today, y'all. It's gotten cold. It got cold last night and windy. The wind's blowing today, and the sun's out. The sun feels good, but when that wind blows, it catches you. But Bill's mom makes all these little beanie hats, and I'm telling y'all, I don't think she can keep them laying around too long, because once I find the box, I raid the box, because I love my beanie hats in the wintertime. So anyway.
So what you got going on today?
I'm going to head up to Shay's pen and get some more winter rye put out up there for him. And whenever we put Candy back up there too, because that'll be 2 goats up there eating in that pasture. And they've depleted it since we've done it over the summer, and got to get it seeded. But I want to put some more seed up there, get it heavily seeded, and hopefully it'll do good since we broke that ground up there.
Yeah.
And see, the cows are
Heading down for a drink of water at the trough.
Lacey said, "Mama, where you going?" Mom. Here comes Candy. So we had Lost Tribe. You were asking about Shay being up in the pasture area by himself. So this is Candy, and she was up in the pasture area with Shay. We keep her up there with him. They're both Nigerian dwarf goats, and we do think she is bred. And I told y'all I'm gonna quit saying that, because every time I say it, it seems we sit and wait for it. So
yeah, it is pretty obvious though, because she's waddling around.
She is waddling. So I look at it this way: we'll keep an eye on her, and when it happens, it'll happen. But last time we just literally, it's almost like stood over her, and it seemed like it was just a waiting game, and I don't want to have to do that again.
No.
Because,
no, and there's our new breeds of goats, Nubians.
yeah. So Loretta and Nelson are breed that we are wanting to bring in more here. We're wanting to eventually weed out our Nigerian dwarfs. That's why we're keeping Shay and Candy together. And once we'll just let them live out here, their life here, and we'll be bringing some more Nubians on board. So we want more of your milking goats. So that's why we've chosen to go that different breed on our goats. But you know, like we told y'all, Shay's been here. He was born here. He was actually the kids' goat whenever they were here, and we've just taken him over and taken care of him since they've gone off to college and everything. And he's not going anywhere. He doesn't know anywhere else but here. Yeah. And that's why y'all saw, if he, I think he was trying to figure out what we were doing. I think he thought we were up there trying to take his pasture and tear his pasture up. And yeah, he doesn't know anywhere else but there. So anyway, but he's doing good. We did get him moved down here behind the barn. just to give that pasture up there some time to build itself up. And once it does that, we'll get him moved back up there. And
Yeah, and y'all, I thought I was going to have a hard time getting him down here, and I so wish I'd have caught it on video. I thought I was going to have a hard time with him because he does not want to leave that pasture. Last time I about to had to drag him down here kicking and screaming. But he just likes it up there, and he likes to be up there. But I drove the Kubota up there and was going to figure some way I was going to get him in the back in the cage. And y'all, I just opened the gate. He walked out the gate and walked straight on to the Kubota. I had a little cup of food, and he just walked straight on the passenger side of the Kubota and sat down on the floorboard and looked around and nibbled his food and rode all the way back down here and walked right up there to his pasture.
animals are funny that way. They get territorial over their spaces.
Yeah.
But I guess he really did want to go for a ride on the Kubota when we were up there the other day. Oh my goodness, that is just hilarious. I've never seen a goat ride on a Kubota, but I bet that was a sight to see. But you know, that's how it goes down here. You never know what kind of entertainment these animals around here are going to provide. It is from day to day. Yeah. And you always find something that they do that gives you a good chuckle. Here they all come. Hey, Nancy. Hey, pretty girl. But y'all can see, I don't know if you can tell or not, she's starting to get some dark hair on her. She's not as white as she normally is in the summertime, but that is just their winter coat coming in.
Yeah, she's almost always snow
Nelson
white.
said, I'll come up and tell everybody, hey, I'll provide the entertainment for today. He said, hey, y'all. Nelson here. Say, we are on the funny farm.
He does think he's something.
He does, too.
You don't want no green grass?
He said he's thinking about it. Sure. I'll take it. All right. We'll see you later. Nelson said bye, y'all.
We are over here at the Fix-It shop. And I just wanted to show y'all something, a little bit of maintenance on something that you have to do. And a lot of people take their chainsaws somewhere and have them sharpened. Well, y'all, it used to be $5 to take your chainsaw chain somewhere and have it sharpened, or $7 on the saw. Well, y'all, in recent years, that has gone up to, it's $10 to sharpen your chain, or $15 if it's on the saw. So if you take them the whole saw and they have to take the chain off and sharpen it, it's $15. Y'all, that's just ridiculous to me. And I've never really taken any anywhere. I've taken them for work. That's how I know the prices of it and all. But it's very simple to sharpen the chain on the chainsaw. You just have to, especially if you start with a new chain and you just know what you're doing and you keep the angles right. And it saves a lot of money, because I sharpen my chain usually if I cut a big tree up, I'll sharpen it at the end of it, especially hardwoods. Pines, they're worse. Sometimes you have to sharpen a saw up if you cut a pine tree up. Now, if you're just cutting pine trees down, you can get by with a couple of pine trees. But if you're actually cutting them in the length, like I was cutting up there, cleaning up for that new garden area, and you're chopping the pine trees up into sections, it'll dull a saw pretty quick. If you hit the ground or you hit dirt or you hit anything like that, it's almost instant. And I've actually had instances where you're cutting like hardwoods or something, or cedar trees down, and you actually hit a piece of wire that's in the tree because it used to be part of an old property line or an old fence line, and the wire has actually grown inside the tree, rusted off. You didn't even know it was there, and you'll be cutting, and all of a sudden you'll hear that click when it hits something inside the tree. And it doesn't matter how quick it is. That chain's done made about a revolution, and it's done completely dulled, and you can't cut nothing. I've seen saws, you can tell when they start cutting at an angle, or you're sitting there you'll see a lot of people like sawing with a saw. If you have to do that, it's dull, and that ain't the way to operate a chainsaw. All right, this is just one of my chainsaws. I've got a few of them. This is the Steel Wood Boss chainsaw, and it's a good light saw. I have a lot bigger Husqvarna saw that I use, and I don't use it very often because it's heavy. And this one, you just use an old file. A lot of people will buy a handle, and I do have a handle, but I cannot locate it right now. And it makes it a lot easier on your hand because y'all, that is sharp right there on the end where you're supposed to hold it with your hand. But it's meant to actually go into like a wooden handle or a plastic handle. And I'll see if I can locate it before I start this, because it can dig into the palm of your hand while you're sharpening. But as you see on the, let me get my other hand over here and see if I can zoom in here a little bit for y'all. The sun is terrible. But when you're sharpening, you see that file right there? You got to keep that file in a consistent manner when you're making strokes on a chainsaw. And you want that file, and you put a little bit of upward, you have to put that file where you have to put a little bit of upward pressure on it, and you have to keep that file. Let me find something to prop y'all on, because I ain't been able to hold y'all into the file. Both my hands is wanting to move at the same time. All right, I did manage to find one of my handles. And all you do is stick the file down in there and beat it down in there, and it stays in there. But you definitely want that right angle when you are sharpening the chainsaw. And you put some pressure upward while you're going, so you'll sharpen the top of that. Now you can feel that it actually grabs your skin on your finger, where that one doesn't really, because it's dull. So you just give them 3 or 4 passes and go on to the next 2. And my daddy and my granddaddy taught me, and my uncle taught me how to sharpen a chainsaw. Nobody in my family's actually ever taken a saw anywhere to have it worked on and had the chain sharpened on it. We just do things around here on our own and try to save a nickel and dime here and there. And see, this will take me probably about 10 minutes to do this, where a lot of people that, just don't know that they can do this, actually will take it to a shop, a chainsaw shop, or a lawn and garden store, and actually have to pay somebody $10 off the saw or $15 on the saw. And to me, that's just, it takes me longer than 10 minutes to get the chain off the bar, and then drive it all the way up somewhere. And usually you can't even wait on it. They're gonna make you come back and pick it up. And y'all, that's just too much work for me. When I want to get something done, I don't want to have to drive up the road and drop a chain off and then have to go back later and pick it up. You have $25, $30 in just getting a chain sharpened. And to me, that's ridiculous. So, like I say, you just keep those angles. Now, I know y'all can't see really good, but you just keep them angles. I'll move my hand here. I'll show y'all. Let me flip y'all around here. All right, that is a sharpened chain. That one, go down here. Sorry, y'all. It's hard to find something zoomed in on the camera. That is one that's not been sharpened right there. That one hasn't been sharpened. And my finger, there, sorry. And you can see the difference in it. You go back up here, go back up here, one that's sharpened, and it actually catches your skin and pricks you. So you'll have to do, see, you have one right here going in that direction, and then you have one there going in the opposite direction. So it actually, one bites, let me zoom y'all back out. One bites that way, one bites that way. And you can always tell a saw how sharp it is if it grabs into the wood and spits out big chunks of sawdust versus little fine pieces of sawdust. If it's spitting out fine sawdust, you need to sharpen your saw, because you are doing more work and making yourself work harder and making your saw work harder for something that could be accomplished with a sharpened chain. Around here, we just you just try to save money where you can. And things like that, sharpening my own saw, that's something I can do, something I was taught to do. And I wanted to show people how to do that you can save some money doing that. And it's very simple, very simple. The files don't cost, I think a pack of files is like $10, $12, something like that at Lowe's or Tractor Supply or any lawn and garden store. You just got to make sure you take your saw in so you can match the file up to your teeth that's on your saw, because they make different size files and you want to make sure you get the right size file for your teeth. But other than that, y'all, it's easy peasy. So let me go ahead and get this sharpened up, and then I'm gonna go up there and probably cut a little bit more firewood and get that down to the log splitter.
So we're gonna ride up here again, take y'all back up here to Shay's pen, go ahead and get some more rye seed put out. And y'all, it's a little chilly. Like I said, we are currently at 53 degrees. We had a high today of 54. But it's supposed to get cold again tonight. And trying to get this done before the sun goes down. Y'all can see I got the back of the sidekick loaded up with the rest of the seed in here. There's a little bit left in here. We got another bag of it. And that mixture that Mr. David sent for us, and get that mixed in there real good. And we're not putting this out in the entire pasture area. We're just making little plots of this in certain parts of the pasture back behind the barn where the cows and Loretta and Nelson are. So we'll probably just do little small plots of this mixture, and then we'll go back over all of it, like I said, and heavily seed it with that winter rye.
One last thing I wanted to show y'all. I just finished sharpening. It ain't been 5 minutes and I finished sharpening the other side of the saw. All right, is making sure your chain is tight. And on your chain, I'll bring y'all down here so y'all can see. You're gonna see my hand. You want your chain, y'all see that? When you pull up on your chain, you want that one tooth on the bar. You want your chain tight enough that you pull up. When you put moderate pressure on it, you want that one tooth right there up under my thumb to clear the saw blade, the bar, excuse me, clear the bar. You don't want it too tight. All you do is stretch your chain out, and all you do is burn your bar up prematurely. You want to keep it about that snug. You don't want to be where you're tugging on it really hard. but you want to put this moderate pressure on it, and that one bottom of that tooth clear the top of that bar. And that's how you know your chain is tight enough. And most saws are used the exact same principle. This one, you put this right here, it'll have 1 or 2 nuts right here on the side, and you loosen them just a little bit, and then you would take the flathead screwdriver in, and you would put it into the saw right there, and you would make adjustments to your chain. And you can feel it. You just turn a little bit, and you can keep checking the chain. And you always leave it a little tiny tad looser than what you want, because when you tighten the nuts back down, it will pull the chain a little bit tighter. So you would just make it to where that like 2 or so of the teeth would clear the top of the bar when you tighten them nuts back down after you make your adjustments. And then when you tighten the nuts back down, your chain should end up in the proper position in the tension that you need it to. So I just wanted to show you all that real quick. And you can pick these up. They're probably not much. They're probably like $5 or $6 at any of the lawn and garden centers that you go to when you pick your files up. And the files, y'all, they do wear out. Let me tell you, they do wear out. So that's why they sell them in packs of 2s and 3s and 4s and stuff like that. It's not just to get you a bunch of files and stuff. The files honestly will last maybe a season or 2. Depends on how much you sharpen your saw. But once you start seeing fine dust come off of that saw when you're trying to the file when you're trying to sharpen your saw blade, throw it in the trash and get a new one. You want to start seeing it's bigger. It's hard to describe, but you want to see bigger chunks come out, and that then you're not working twice as hard trying to sharpen your saw. And the files are not that expensive, but they do wear out. They do wear out, and you can usually feel them when you put like a fingernail on them, or if you run your finger up and down, you can feel the integrity and whatever that word is, integrity of the file. You can tell if it's smooth and you don't really feel like nothing, it's not catching your fingers, then the file's no good. Just chunk it and put you a new file in there. Do yourself that favor. That way you ain't working twice as hard. All right, this is sharpened up. The bar is tight at the proper tension. Let's throw it in the backhoe bucket, and we're gonna go cut this tree down. Shepherd down there. Y'all see this hillside? It's at about that angle right there. It's like being in the mountains out here, y'all. There's Shay down there. He's in his temporary pen until we can get his pasture. We can get his pasture caught back up. But he likes it down here. He's beside Candy. Y'all can see how steep that hill is. Like I say, it's like being in the mountains around here. We're surrounded by nothing but hills. Just like you would be in the mountains. Beautiful down here. Beautiful. A lot of deer around here too. A lot of deer. Riding on the side of the hill, y'all. All right, I'm gonna keep the tractor here at a safe distance. I just wanted to show y'all this tree that I found. And y'all, God provided this tree for us. This tree actually got tore up during the hurricane that came through. And I didn't even realize it was over here because all the leaves were still on the trees, and never even saw it when I rode around on the Kubota. Excuse me. This is one big hickory tree here. So this one will be harder to split. And it's going to be a little bit dangerous to get it down. And let me tell y'all, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I ain't going to be able to cut this part of the tree up. And I don't know how to describe it to y'all, but I can put my hand, I'm sitting here hugging this tree. Hang on, let me get y'all, flip y'all around here. Now y'all can kind of see how big this tree is. I've got my arm wrapped completely around this tree, and my hand, I don't even know if I can get, there you go. You can see the tip of my fingers right there. How big this tree is, y'all. This tree has got to be 50 something inches around, because I'm 36 in the waist, and that tree's bigger around than I am. That is one big tree. So I will not be able to cut. I will not be able to do anything with this. I could cut it up. I got a chainsaw to cut it up, but y'all, I could not pick these logs up on the log splitter. Even if I had some help, it'd be a chore. So my aim is probably from where it's split right there, and all the limbs and stuff that's on this tree. So I'm going to have to drop the whole tree. I'm going to cut the whole tree down and then just cut off all the limbs, because y'all, it's still up there where it goes to the split. That's still got to be 36, 40 inches around. That is one big tree. But I can get a lot of firewood out of this, so it will not completely go to waste. And it's just beautiful around here. Y'all can see the hillside. It's just beautiful, beautiful. And I do a lot of deer hunting around here. And matter of factly, I went up to grab our dumpster on the little Kubota last night after they dumped it, and there was about 8 or 9 deer bedded right there on the hillside. I shined the flashlight down, and there was just 8 or 9 of them laying down bedded on that hillside. And y'all, I think they feel safe by our farm animals. I think they know they feel safe down here, staying next to the other animals and stuff like that. I guess they just got that instinct and all. But it was nice seeing them. And I usually don't hunt right here in this spot because Miki, she likes the deer and seeing them come up. So I go way, way back on the property and hunt the deer, where I showed y'all the deer stand and stuff back there way behind the pond. We try to make it a nice place, safe place for the deer to come up here and keep them safe and stuff like that from the predators and stuff like that. So, all right, y'all, let me get to it. Cut this thing down. I'll try to video some of it. If I don't get all of it, I'm gonna try to do it safely, because this is kind of a dangerous kind of mess this tree is in. So I'll set y'all over here and prop y'all up and try to get the best angle, and I'm gonna go get the saw and cut it down, or try to. Y'all, that tree is just sitting there teeter-tottering. It's completely almost cut all the way through. But, I mean, it can't be got a piece that big still holding it. And what I think is happening, this wide split of branches that's over here is kind of holding that tree stationary, keeping it from going anywhere. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna leave y'all sitting there. I think the only thing I can possibly do, because it's a little bit unsafe, is I think I'm gonna go get the Kubota, drive back around, and come up here and give this tree a nudge from this side, because as y'all can see, it's split and hanging over the other side of that tree, on that tree going straight up. So I'm gonna get the tractor and come over here and give it a little bit of a nudge and see if I can get it to fall on down. Cause y'all, it's a little bit shaky sitting there and kind of make it a little bit unnerving. So let me go get that. All right, y'all, that knocked it over. That's a little bit safer to me and for me, because that thing was just too daggone shaky. Y'all saw it. It just fell right over. Wasn't nothing holding it. It was basically just sitting on top of the stump. It was cut all the way through. So let me cut this on up. I'll see if I can prop y'all up here. Getting late in the evening. I just wanted to mainly get that tree down and get a little bit cut up. I'll fill the bucket up with this and take it down to the log splitter, and I'll be back tomorrow and finish cutting this up. That's a lot of wood, y'all. Seriously, I mean, that's a lot of wood. That'll be about enough to get us halfway through the winter there at least, or more. And like I say, I won't be able to do nothing. Let me walk y'all down here and show you all this stump. This kind of gives you an idea of how big this tree is. That's my hand. This tree, y'all, is longer than the tip of my fingers to my elbow. And y'all, that just ain't nothing. I'm sorry, I'm 50 years old. I can't pick that up and get it on the log splitters. And I really hate to waste it, but I'll just cut it off right up there and try to use. But y'all, it's still humongous in that area right there. So y'all can see in the video, it's a very dangerous tree to cut up because now it's fell on top of this tree and has this tree bowed down. And everywhere I was cutting limbs, y'all saw them popping back. That's why I actually started cutting them like longer and standing to the right side of one of these trees so at least it would hit the tree before it hit me. That's what I was telling y'all. I try to choose trees that are easily accessible. And I don't like going all over the hillside, disrupting the hillside and stuff, because usually when you cut like a tree this size, I'm gonna probably have to make 8 or 9 or more trips in here to get all this firewood out. And I just don't like tearing the hillside up that much, coming and going, making a road in. But it is what it is on this one. God provided this tree, so I'm certainly not gonna let it go to waste.
All right, so this now is the seed that we got from Wagener Milling Company that Mr. David put together for us. It's just that mixture of seeds. I'm just gonna make a very small plot with this up here for Shay and Candy, and let this work up in their area up here too, give them a little bit of extra on top of that ryegrass.
Y'all, I just wanted to show y'all coming back down from that tree. I got a bucket full, got the sawing off. I know a lot of y'all viewers will probably know, but this is a sassafras tree. And this is what you would make when you use the roots. If you boil the roots, I had to push it out the ground to be able to get the tractor through. And this is what you would make sassafras tea out of. And y'all, we have them growing all over the property. And it smells so good, I just had to stop and show y'all that, even though I killed it, which made me sad. But it has that licorice smell, and you can't miss that licorice smell that sassafras has. So I just wanted to share that with y'all and show y'all that tree. And might come back up here and cut some of the root off and use some of the root, make a pot of sassafras tea, y'all.
Y'all, I've got this one seeded really good. Fingers crossed that this does good for us and gives these babies the extra feed over the winter months. So when it turns cold around here, or when our pastures you see up here like Shay and Candy's, regardless whether it gets to a point like this and we have to reseed, keep on top of it from this point forward, but we always feed the cows, the goats, everything around here. They get their source of all stock and a cow and goat mix that we get from Wagener Milling Company. They get alfalfa. We also put out their mineral blocks for them, and baking soda to help just in case of bloat. And we also supplement them with a very high quality hay as well. So, you know, regardless, we make sure that all these critters around here are getting the feed that they need, whether it be from their pasture source or us making sure that we're giving it to them on a daily basis. So if any of y'all raise livestock, you know the extra expense that you run into during the winter months. I'm going to try to cross over hubby's ditch here. But yeah, the extra cost that you incur during your winter months when everything becomes dormant, and you're having to spend that extra for more hay, and because they need that supplement when they don't have other means. And so anyway, I'm gonna walk you down here to the other pasture down here where the barn is and show y'all kind of what I did up here. I know I showed y'all me putting the seed out, and but let's take a look at it. This is pretty much what we got going on up here. It looks like some of our stuff is starting to come up. Hubby came up here and loosened that ground a little bit up here, and mostly in this area up behind the log cabin is where I put that mixture of seed that we got from Mr. David. Y'all can see we've got a lot of dirt area over here, and Shep is playing with the stick. But I did put a little bit of that mixture out right in front of the log cabin around this side of the barn over here. I don't know how well that is going to come up because we did not loosen that soil up, but all of this has been gone over with the winter rye, and we're going to get down on the other side. I don't know if you can see the gate down there or not, but down where the pond is on that other side, and go through and seed that with some winter rye as well, and possibly come up here and put a little bit more out here if needed. So anyway, but I'm getting excited. It looks like we do have some that is making an appearance and starting to come up. So that rain has definitely helped. And I really think loosening this soil up here in this area has really helped that seed to come up too. So the puppies are down there barking. Shepherd, you want to tell everybody hey? Say hey, everybody. So y'all, the sun is starting to go down on me, and I've got to get inside and get started on supper. Hubby's been out here working hard today too, gathering us up some more firewood, and I believe gonna start getting that cut up as well and split. So you know, we always like to use this time of year to get ahead on our firewood for the next year. So anyway, I hope all of y'all are safe out there. Thank you so much for coming along with me and hubby today. We appreciate y'all being here. Y'all take care out there. God bless. Y'all come back and see us soon.
Cows in the pasture, the chickens in the coop. Every day's an adventure in this rustic loop. From sunrise to sunset, we work and play, celebrating farm life in the best kind of way. Oh, farm life where the green grass grows, canning food and the garden shows, taking care